nothing inside of you that is more powerful than you are. And they won't tell you that. They sit there and say, no, psychiatry now someone say, you don't really have free will. You do so. You have absolute free will. I wasn't going to tell this story, but I will. All right. With the inmates, I was sitting down with the prisoners and I was having a conversation just like this, very similar. And they're not exactly the greatest examples of somebody who used free will properly, okay? They wouldn't be in there. And so I'm sitting there saying, you have, and they're saying, Mickey, you got the wrong group. Maybe the people you hang out with, but, that's not who we are, right? I mean, maybe 20 were sitting in there. I said, all right, and excuse me, it's a little off color what I'm trying to tell you, all right? But I did. I'm sitting in a chapel, by the way. That's where we used to meet. And I said, okay, pay attention. Whatever you think is a beautiful woman, whatever turns you on, just walked in this room. They all sit up. Yeah, come on, they've been in for 20 years, 30 years, right? They all sit up, and they're going to walk right across this stage. There was a door on one side and on the other. They're going to walk across, and they can walk out the other door, and in the mist, they're going to disrobe. They're going to disrobe, and they're going to put their clothes back on and walk out there. Oh, they're like little boys. They start giggling, all this kind of stuff like boys do, all right? And I said, can you not look? Oh, it was so cute. I wish you could have been there. I get this. Oh, no. And I swear every one of them said, Mickey, I know you want me to say I have the will to not look. I've been here for 20 years. I'm a man. Come on, all right? I would look. I can't lie to you. I would look. It may be the last time I ever get to see anything like that. I would look, right? I got everyone like that. I know what you want. I can't say it, Mick. I really can't. I sat up and said, okay, right here. Here's $10 million cash, a pardon from the governor, the keys to the Ferrari that are sitting out front, and the keys to the house in Maui, all yours if you don't look. Every one of them said, I ain't looking. There's nothing. I would never look. And they meant it. I said, you sure? Yes. But you told me you could not look. Well, for that I could. So in other words, it's not that you can't not look. You don't want to enough. That story is very, very important. You hear me? All right? By definition, if you cannot look, then you cannot look. Don't tell me just because there's $1 million there, I all of a sudden gained the ability to look, to not look. You always had the ability to not look. You just were not willing to assert enough will. How's that? But you give me enough reason, I'll assert that will. Okay, thank you. That is true of every single thing with every one of you. Don't sit there and say, but I don't have any will. Oh, yeah? I'll go put the right example up there, see whether you got some will. All right? And you build using it. You practice saying, I am me. I am the boss. This is my house, right? This is my house. I'm the only one living in here, okay? It doesn't mean you become a control freak in there. It is not about suppression. Surrender is not suppression. Surrender is not control. Surrender is not being a good little boy and never doing anything wrong.